G'day and welcome back to Minecraft SMP with Sparcy, and today we're going to continue where we left off from last time, where we're continuing working on the Fletcher's house and the paths in my castle area. Later on we'll also do a few other things. Hey, what are you doing? Ah, come on. Okay, let's begin. Okay, so I've completed the roof of the house and the basic structure. So let's take a look inside and outside. That guy must have been keen to move in. Basically, I decided to keep the stairs here. I was having trouble with deciding where exactly they would go. I'll sort of show you that when we go upstairs. Over here, I've sort of made a little nook for the kitchen to be. I think I'll have, the standard sink, furnace, and crafting table in one corner, and maybe some kind of storage receptacle on the other side. I'm not sure exactly how I'm going to sort that out. I think I'll be able to put a table and chairs somewhere in here for this villager, because he's got a little bit more of the room than some of the others. And that should mean he can have some visitors. If we go upstairs, you can see this area, this small space is sort of a bit awkward. It was difficult to find a good spot to put the stairs. I was originally going to have the balcony be this section here and have the wall here and not this roof section there. So that turned out to be a bit problematic because the stairs being here meant there'd be a hole in the middle of your balcony, and you don't really want that. But I couldn't really think of anywhere else to put the stairs, because if this part here is all that's available, if I put the stairs anywhere else, then I don't really have a good spot to put a bed or other furniture up here. Which is obviously what I'm going to be putting up here, is a bed, some posters, some storage units, and probably some bookshelves as well. And out here is obviously the house's balcony. So I might put a chair here somewhere for just sort of sitting and looking out. This turned out to be a good place to put the balcony because you can look out into the village. It's actually got a better view than the other potential locations I had for it. So I think this has worked out for the best. So before we go and put all the details on the inside, such as the furniture and the decoration, there is something else I wanted to do. My brother Moganite has been building an underwater base, and he said he's been making some good progress on it, so I thought what we might do is go over and have a quick look at what he's been doing so far. So I'll catch you back up with you when we're over there. Okay, we're approaching his underwater base. It's still under construction, and it's still got a very much a construction vibe going on, but it is starting to look quite good. I think once he sorts out the kelp and seagrass and terrain around it, it will look even better than it does now. It's sort of definitely got a very construction vibe going on. So let's kill this guy, and we'll go inside and take a look at how it's built. If we're lucky, we might even run into him. You can see he's brought in a few animals already, so that's good. Down here is his airlock. Easy way of getting in and out without having to go through another base. Normally I wouldn't like the water dripping, but in this section particularly, the airlock, that's actually quite effective. Makes it feel like it's an actual airlock area of a underwater base. That's kind of cool. I noticed that the glass doesn't have water dripping from it, so I think that's something that was changed. It used to drip from the glass as well. These fences here are temporary, because he's trying to work out where the slimes are spawning, because it's getting slime spawning down here. They must have some storage of items down here. Okay, this section, I'm told, is where he's going to have all the villagers meet during the day for their meeting spot. Otherwise, it's just a little garden area for everyone to relax in. And so far, if you took away the fences and did up the walls a little bit, it would actually be quite a nice little area. You can see he's already got the villager bell. I think up here is where he's keeping some of his animals, the cows. I suspect that this must be a new area here I haven't seen. Alright, it hooks up to this dome. I'm not sure what this dome is going to have in it yet. Another villager bell. This might be another area for villagers to congregate. This would be a prime opportunity to use chains instead of bars, but perhaps he preferred the bars. Up here is the basically the church of the villagers here. They are sun worshippers. Well, they're going to be sun worshippers anyway. And during the day you can see that quite a lot of the upper structure of this building is quite well lit. And that's because he's built these glass columns going all the way to the surface of the water. During the night time, it's got a quite different atmosphere in here. These lights at the bottom turn on and light up the floor, but the upper workings of the building all turn dark. The fences, once again, aren't supposed to be here. It's just to work out where the slimes are spawning. And when he takes those away, the floor will probably look a bit nicer. And he'll be able to install things like furniture for the villagers to actually do their normal thing. Now, the stone walls on the outside there, I'm pretty sure he's going to take away once he terraforms the area, because this area around this underwater base is definitely the wrong shape for what he's building, so he's going to end up taking a lot of the stone away and then rebuilding the outside landscape later. Let's go have a bit of a wander through some other parts. Some sheep wandering around. I believe this room here was going to be a cartography room, a place basically for maps. The glowstone is where the maps are going to be placed. The glowstone is good for putting maps on because it evenly lights all of the map blocks, and then you don't have this sort of uneven shaded map that you sometimes see if you haven't put them on light blocks like those. We'll go in there in a moment because I'm pretty sure that's a new thing that I haven't seen yet. He's got a farm here. This is actually looking pretty good. I think this just joins up to the dome over there. And down that way is the entrance to his main base on the island nearby. Or one of many main bases, really. Let's see if we can find the library, because I know he's built a library in here. This room is going to be the library. Clearly it needs a lot of decorative work, but the structure of the dome is already in place. I suspect this section up here is going to be another floor with more books. But I don't know if glass really works for the floor here. Maybe he'll end up changing that out. But we'll see later when he finishes building it. Okay, let's take a look in here. This is a new part that I haven't seen yet. Oh, okay. Spiral staircase. Ah, this is something I've heard about. This is going to be the lookout. So, once the area is terraformed and lit, this hopefully will have a much better view of the waterscape around this base. And this is built specifically just for me and him to come and have a look around the underwater area. I probably would have gone for more glass. I probably would have changed those blocks there for glass, but otherwise it will probably be quite good once the area is finished. So I think we've had a look at pretty much everything in this work in progress area at the moment. We'll go back to the house I'm working in the castle, gather up some materials and decorate the inside. Okay, we're back and we're bristling with goodies for decorating the inside of the house. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to place the bed because we really desperately need to empty some of our inventory so we can do some more crafting. The bed for this guy is going to go upstairs. I definitely need to find a place to put a lantern for him. Until then, we'll just put a torch in the corner. Now, we've got some posters. We can think of putting a poster there. That's way too big. So let's use some dirt to sort of cordon off the area that we want the poster to go in. Oh yeah, that'll be alright. We've got the room, so maybe we might put another one. Not exactly the same one. We might go for a narrow one. Yeah, there we go. Okay. I'm using these andesite stairs for seats to contrast against the rest of the sort of wooden structure. So we'll just put that there. It doesn't look like much of a seat, so perhaps I can put some signs on the side for armrests. Okay, we'll come back up here and do some more in a bit because I need to put some bookshelves in. I'm not entirely sure where I'll do that yet. Downstairs I already know what I'm going to do roughly. So this guy's obviously going to be a Fletcher. We're going to put his fletching table over here. Probably an armour stand in this corner as well, so we'll have to go and get one of those because I don't have one on me. But we need to put the sink in. The sink can go there, along with an oven and his crafting table. To make it so you can't see the bottom of the sink, we'll do that. And there's our tap. So that's the basics of a kitchen in this area. I'm going to try and make a refrigerator if I can. So that's going to be the fridge door. And that'll be a shelf, well, not so much a shelf, but let's see if we can. Okay, starting to get there. Right, I'll have to figure out how I can store something in that cupboard. Or maybe I can move that cupboard into a corner or something. Because that's not a really good spot for it, is it? Let's move it. What about this corner? I'm standing too close. Okay. So that might make a better spot for a... Okay, yeah, that makes a better spot for a cupboard. And what we'll do is we'll put an item frame there, maybe on the back as well, and we'll put some food items in the cupboard. We need to get some item frames first, though, for that. And we don't have any at the moment. Something else we need is we need somewhere for this guy to sit. So that's going to be the table, a chair, and a chair, and we'll give him a flower pot as well. Just because, oops, just because it makes it look nice. Okay, this needs some. I need some chains in here for lighting, because I really need to put. Well, I suppose I can just put a lantern here on top of the furnace, but I really should hang one from the ceiling. What we might do is grab some of these and put them in as some shelving. How high should I put it? I don't want to make it so that you can't walk around, so really it'd probably be better if I had the shelves there, but I can't put anything on the back of that, so it'll just have to basically be shelves with nothing on them. So that's probably the best I can do in the kitchen there. And you can see that it's easier to sort of decorate a space like this. If it's small, you could put more detail into it, and if you don't go too far, it actually looks pretty good. I think I need to go and get some more resources. I need an armor stand and some other bits. Okay, I'm back with a few more resources. So I've got some chains, so we can hang this where I wanted to from the ceiling. Let's get that up there. Yeah, that's definitely better. I've got the armor stand, because obviously the Fletcher is going to be the sort of person who needs some armor. I've just got some armor I've collected off mobs. He's being an archer, he's sort of not wearing the fanciest armor. Okay, that's looking good. I might have to put some carpet down in here. Up here, we need some bookshelves. And I think in this corner as well. And we'll put a lantern there, because we still need it lit up. Let's get rid of these now that I've got the chains. I'm so looking forward to the ability to hang the chains sideways. That will give me the opportunity to use them for things like railings. I think that would probably be a good thing, a good use for them. I'm going to hang this one a bit further this way. Okay. I think we need to have a bedside table. We might actually use a bookcase for that, and we'll put a poppy in a flower pot next to it, because everyone likes their bedroom to look nice. And something this room really needs is some storage, because at the moment, I mean, apart from this, it's got absolutely no storage at all. So let's put a double chest in there for him to store his clothes in. I think here would probably be a good place. Maybe I should put another one there, but that, I suppose that would actually fill in the walkway too much. So yeah, I think that's probably all I really need for the inside details of this house. I think it's looking pretty good. I sort of take my inspiration for how I make these houses and spaces small from BOO. Although I'm not as good at him at making really, really cool spaces, I'm trying to pack in a lot of detail like he does. And I think it works better in these smaller spaces, because in a big space, it becomes very hard to get the scale right. I'll show you what I mean. In a bigger space that I've got here in this tower, I haven't decorated it yet, but if you just look at this space, it's quite large, and given I've got a doorway going out onto the castle wall, I'm not entirely sure what I should do with it. I figure I'll probably make a lot of the tower sort of armory, so I'll have armor stands with armour and swords and that kind of stuff stowed around in here. So maybe this will be a sort of barracks area. And I think I could probably decorate an area like this to work quite well as a barracks. But as a small house, a cosy house, it definitely wouldn't work very well. And I've got the same problem multiple floors over as to what to do with them. All the way up to the top of this tower. Up near the top where these villages are, I'm going to have a small place for some clerics to live. They're going to be like the equivalent of the castle wizards, which is why I don't have any clerics living down in the town, because they're going to live in this tower. And also I've got the problem of what to do with that building over there as well. I think that's going to be sort of a communal hall, so it'll have the big facilities like the library, the main big eating area for celebrations, that kind of stuff, and maybe some kingdom administration type stuff. Maybe a throne room as well. I think a throne room might go well in there. But anyhow, I've got to do some gathering of materials, because what I need to do next is I need to build sort of what will be the roads for these buildings down there. At the moment, they're sort of like not very well connected, and it sort of needs something to make it look like it's a town, so that you know where the villagers are walking most of the time, even though they won't follow the roads. And I think after that I'm going to have to do some gardening, because this place looks very bare. There's no flowers, there's no trees, and I think maybe it could do with one or two trees or maybe some flower beds or something like that. So I'm going to do some more materials gathering, and we'll be back for probably a time lapse of doing the roads. Okay, we're back, and I've gathered up a bunch of coarse dirt for building the roads in this area. Normally I'd often use path blocks, but I didn't really feel like using them today. Basically I wanted to do something a little bit different. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use these coarse dirt blocks. And in some areas where I've already put them for like dirt areas where villagers work, it's actually looking pretty good. The only worry is if someone comes along with a hoe and turns them back into ordinary dirt. But given that I've put them there, hopefully that won't happen. So I'm going to go into super fast road building mode, and we'll put roads all over the village. I'll start here and work my way around. Okay, I've been making the paths and basically doing some gardening by placing some bone meal around. Nearly used a whole stack of bone meal, and place is looking a lot more like sort of a natural garden of flowers and grass, and also probably a bit more like a lived-in village, because now there's some paths going around to all the various different important places of the village, mostly all leading to around this bell here, because the bell is one of the most important parts, and it goes to all the major exits and all the bits and pieces of buildings that are around, and all where all the villagers live. So there's some living up in here. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed that. It was certainly fun to make this area look the way it does now. Let's try and get a vantage spot. I did die once whilst doing it. I accidentally punched one of my golems, and well, the result of that wasn't pleasant. Yeah, I'm quite pleased with that. I think my village in there is looking quite nice. So we're going to stop the video there. I do have some projects for the future. I have to fill that tower there in. It's not decorated or furnished inside. That definitely needs to be done. And this building over here also needs to have basically furnishings and decoration done inside. You can see this section here hasn't been done at all. There's still like temporary blocks for lighting up the area, and the portcullis hasn't been done yet. And oh, stuff like that might happen. I actually did pretty well to hit him. Okay, now that fright is over, I'd like to thank you for watching, and I'll catch you next time.